Brooklyn Independent Television.
Hello and welcome to Neighborhood Beat, your passport to Brooklyn. I'm your host, Mel Farah, and on this sensational BoCoCa and Gowanus episode, we take an exciting excursion to some of the hottest and hippest spots in Gowanus. We go to the Gowanus Industrial Arts Complex and visit businesses that are still recovering from Hurricane Sandy. We visit Brooklyn Brine and sample some pleasantly pungent pickles. Then, stop by Twig Terrariums, where they combine fine art and craft in an ultra quirky way. And finally, grab a well-done slice at Pizza Cotta Bene on 3rd Avenue. Stay tuned, it's going to be a great one. This Eagle clothing sign is an iconic symbol in Gowanus and a relic of a bygone manufacturing era. Set on a 50-foot square metal frame, the sign is all that's left of Eagle Clothing, a suit-making company which opened its Gowanus plant in 1951. The company, who used celebrity models such as Rock Hudson, first filed for bankruptcy in 1977 due to the popularity of what else? The polyester leisure suit. When Hurricane Sandy hit, it sent nearly 6 feet of polluted canal and salt water into the Gowanus Industrial Arts Complex, which houses several businesses. We stopped by 2 of those businesses to see how they are continuing to recover and thrive after the storm.
Build a Green NYC is a building materials reuse center. We're a nonprofit organization that keeps reusable building materials out of the landfill. So at our locations we have anything from cabinets to doors to windows, whatever you would make a house out of, we have here. And it's all reused materials that otherwise would have probably ended up in the landfill. And we work with contractors and homeowners, architects, and we go out and get the material before it gets thrown out. So we're a bit like a cross between a Goodwill and a Home Depot. You know, our main mission is to keep materials out of the landfill, have a positive environmental impact, and we do that through our reuse center. Last year we kept over 1,000 tons of building materials out of landfills. We do that through our composting program in partnership with DSNY. We take in donations of food waste in Western Queens, and we compost it and we donate that material back into the community.
My name is Paige Tooker, and this is the New York Art Foundry. We produce art for artists out of rubber and plastic, but primarily aluminum and bronze. And we pour molten metal here. The complex lends itself towards industrial art. There's glass shops, there's foundry, there's art studios here.
We also have another program where we donate materials that are donated to us. So we help connect those to other folks that are in need. So we've donated enough boards to make over 2,000 raised beds. We're doing work where we're connecting some families in need to furniture after Sandy. The water came from everywhere, I think. You know, the whole neighborhood was flooded. So any way the water could get in, it came in. It broke through one of our loading dock doors. And most dramatically, it exploded through our walls from our neighbor. The wall was like ripped off. There was so much force. We had to throw out a lot of the materials, which is ironic for us because we spent so much time trying to save materials from the landfill. So we had to actually throw out 8 dumpsters worth of materials that had gotten soaked by the water. We really ended up having to throw out about 60–70% of the materials we had in the store.
I had just moved here 2 years ago, and we had only been melting and operating for a year when the hurricane hit. And last year we only got 6 inches of water throughout the shop. This year it was almost 6 foot of water. The SBA is the Small Business Administration, and they were working with FEMA. It took 3 months to get funding, and we received our funds at midnight last night. There was so much red tape. We had to purchase flood insurance before we could get a loan. And now we are able to to buy our big ticket items that are going to put us right back in business manufacturing again. But we have taken a huge loss in old customers. To lose a quarter of a year is just unbelievable, and I'm going to have to get my group of customers to come back.
My name is Jack Chipkowski. I'm the Communications Manager at Build It Green NYC, and I'm going to show you around our Gowanus Reuse Center post-Hurricane Sandy. Over here is our lighting section, and during the storm the water came about 5 feet high. Down here I can show you another piece that we have that you could still see the water lines on the mirror. So everything that was 5 feet or lower, those all had to be thrown away because we were fearful of what would happen with the cloth-based materials. You can see where the line came up to and the water levels, and then it carries right over. Obviously these weren't here at the time of the storm, and you can see the line along this big piece. I'll take you over to our kitchen cabinet section where you can see where the walls kicked out and the water and insulation came in. So over here we have our kitchen cabinets. You can see where the water came. Insulation still stuck along the surface of the wall. Over here, the drywall busted out. A lot of the furniture had been pushed and kind of stirred up, and it went into the middle of the store. It just looks like someone came in and just played with our furniture like it was a dollhouse. And a few months later, we have new cabinets that have been donated and are available for sale, and some that have been sold. It's really hopeful that we're recuperating so quickly. Just before the hurricane, we had finished building this wood shop, which I think is super cool because it's made out of all of the materials that we actually have. You can see an old window. And so we've been using our shop while we're repairing from the storm. But you can see this is our little graveyard up here of tools that were damaged in the flood. They had worked with donated stage flooring and built this beautiful space. And then the flood came. You can see the water line again in the space. And in the far corner you can see where it has warped and the floor is a few feet up from the ground. We've rebuilt and moved things around, and this is back where we are.
Now I'm just going to show you around the space on day 100 after the storm. This is our office. This entire area had furniture up to just floating in here up to this line. This is our water line in our office. We put our computers up high on a ladder, and I don't know how the ladder was not bumped by furniture that was floating everywhere. We were able to save our bookkeeping, and therefore we were able to get our loan. This is the larger space where we do production, and we have a skeleton crew here now working. We're still cleaning up. This is a bulldozer that was ruined in the flood. It does not operate. These are raw castings that I had to contract to a small foundry in Pennsylvania so that we can keep operating here on some level. This is our burnout kiln, which seems to have fared the water because look, the water came up to here. I probably have to do some relining. It does operate. The water didn't come in slowly. It was a tidal force, and you could tell that there was probably waves in here, just throwing everything, and all the tables were upside down, and the equipment was turned over. These are some projects from artist Marian Vitali that are in production. These are douchebags, figurative douchebags. These are in the mold process. Over here is one that we cast yesterday in wax from the rubber molds that I just showed you. And so we make wax replicas and then we cast them in bronze. We make wax replicas of the artist's work. I'm going to put the Gowanus Canal 2012 on here with a big cork in it, and I will never forget.
I mean, climate change is real, and hopefully this really emphasizes that fact statewide. We're the center of a lot of businesses. Hopefully those business leaders that were affected, that had their lights turned out, are starting to take climate change seriously as something that could really, threaten our whole way of life.
Former vegan chef Seamus Jones founded Brooklyn Brine, a factory and retail space where they pickle everything from sunchokes and asparagus to beans and, of course, cucumbers. And who doesn't love a great pickle, especially ones with an earthy, spicy kick?
I don't have a filter sometimes, and I can just flippantly say something like, it's like the hamster wheel spinning and then it's coming out of my mouth. I'm like, yo, I want to start a pickle company. Can I use your kitchen tonight? In the summer of 2009, I was basically consulting at a restaurant. I was laid off kind of quicker than I was expected to be. I was just like, I am gonna go out on my own branch. So I was literally in that kitchen 6 hours after I was laid off making, I think the first thing I did was garlic scapes.
A garlic scape is just this really kind of twisty, long, it looks like a very green long snake, and it grows up out of the top of the garlic. When we ferment it, it tastes almost like a really garlicky asparagus.
So we're a small batch, everything is done by hand. I've worked in restaurants my whole life, I was a chef before this. So the idea of creatively capture seasons and the culinary artistry sense, what you can do with something that touches on sour, salty, sweet, savory, spicy on your palate, really intrigued me. Our products are pretty unique and diverse. We started collaborating with Finger Lakes Distilling. We use their rye whiskey for our whiskey sour, their bourbon for 2 sweeter pickles that are also made with maple syrup. We ferment sauerkraut in their bourbon barrels and seasonal one-offs. Another unique part of our portfolio is our collaboration with Dogfish Head Brewery, using their 60-minute IPA, folding in Cascade hops into a pickle.
Well, there's a couple of different types of pickling processes that we do here. One would be the vinegar brine of all of our shelf-stable line. That's just basically starting with the produce, filling jars with spice mix, whatever else might go in it, dill, caramelized onions, putting the cut product in it, brining it, sealing it with lids, and then processing it so that it's shelf-stable. From there, it'll go on to racks and cool, and then it will be labeled, boxed, put on pallets, and hangs out for a few minutes before it's out of here, and we redo the whole thing. The other thing that we do are ferments. It'll just be a sea salt brine, so that gives you a more traditional kosher-style Lower East Side sour pickle.
So we're standing in the middle of our store that was just a garage. 2 really good friends, companies that this is product we don't make in-house, but we believe in what they're doing. Jolene Collins, who has JoJo's Sriracha, which is a artisan take on sriracha sauce. She focuses on the actual taste of the peppers, and each batch is going to be a little different and uniquely flavored. My boy Anton Nosito with P&H Soda Co. It's artisan soda syrups. He infuses wonderful flavors into the syrup, and they can be used for soda, they can be used for cocktails. Small batch manufacturing will be happening up here. Chipotle carrots or fennel beets or sauerkraut or any of the ferments that are needed for the store. Back here is where the large scale manufacturing happens before the pickles go out. They come out of a boiling water bath and it expands the contents. So these are hot jars that we then line up on these blue racks and force cool them. We can dump cold water on it and really just stop the cooking process and keep the cucumbers really crispy. We're doing our hop pickle collaboration with Dogfish Head Brewery, a ton of 60-minute IPA, the actual beer, a bunch of apple cider vinegar, some water, sea salt, and garlic. It's something that has to be made with love and with care and with the highest quality.
I love Gowanus. I live in Greenpoint. I really didn't spend much time here before I started working at Brooklyn Brine. We opened our doors in July for more of the storefront, and just the neighborhood's really supportive, and it's nice.
In the 2.5 years that we've been in Gowanus, I remember there was 4 and 20 Blackbirds, there was the homebrew shop, you know, there's a couple things going on, but seeing how much new activity and how much attention and focus is coming into the neighborhood, it's really revitalized in such a way where I really appreciate it. We finally have guests that are coming in, they're like, oh, I love your pickles, like I got them here and this is how I found out about you.
I think what makes Brooklyn Brine so unique from any place that I've worked before is how everyone's involved, having a good time, everyone's on the same level, and also just all of the care that's put into the product.
I have 12 talented co-workers, you know, there's an economy being created. They all live in Brooklyn. And real food isn't free, you know, real labor isn't free. It's not meant to be streamlined in a machine processing system by someone else.
None of us have worked in pickle factories. This hasn't been our dream, this hasn't been our life, but we're all learning skills here that we never thought that we would be doing, and yeah, we're getting a lot out of it.
What do you get when you combine a plant nerd and a skeptical poet with found glass, lots of moss, and scads of creativity? The answer? Twig Terrariums, a unique studio and shop where you can find all types of terrariums, or perhaps make one yourself. Let's go check it out.
Twig Terrariums is a verdant venture between me and my best friend Michelle. We started this in our living rooms and / dining rooms, considering we have tiny little New York apartments. And it's something that was a labor of love. We had always gotten crafty together. It was kind of a thing we did. We were reunited after quite a few years apart, and we have a lot of fun together creating these little green worlds with moss and plants and all sorts of fun stuff.
We couldn't think of a name for our company. We went through so many different names, different business cards, different ideas, and we would just pass them back and forth between each other. And one day we were in Prospect Park, and we were just sitting around trying to think of a name, and Katie held up the perfect twig. And we knew it right from that moment that that was what we were going to be called.
This is the perfect knotty twig that we found in Prospect Park while just macking out one Saturday. And we kept it. We put a little green ribbon around it so that we didn't use it in a terrarium, which we probably would have. And it's been with us ever since. Me and Michelle have known each other since we were little hooligan teenagers. I moved away, and a mutual friend knew that we knew each other but hadn't seen each other in years. So I was a surprise at Michelle's birthday party, and she totally didn't recognize me.
And it was amazing. When I finally recognized her, we would have craft nights together. We would get together and make subversive greeting cards or bookmarks. And one day I pulled a Cruet jar out of my kitchen cabinet and said, I want to make a terrarium out of this. Before we knew it, we had terrariums all throughout our apartments, and we didn't know what to do with them. Either we were going to give them as gifts, or we would try and sell them. We tried to sell them, and it worked out.
Gowanus is probably the coolest neighborhood I've ever had the pleasure of spending this much time in. It's just has a lot of vision. It's not at a point where it's all kind of humdrum. Everyone still has a lot of energy, and it's in between two really thriving neighborhoods.
I have 2 little sheep that are going to complete this landscape over here. And they're really tiny and a little annoying, so we like to use big tweezers to kind of put them in. Our do-it-yourself kits come with everything that you need to make your own terrarium. We have all different types of them, and they're all fun and quirky. They can take anywhere from 10 minutes to a couple of hours, depending upon how specific you want to be.
Further into the space is lots of terrariums, like an obscene amount, ranging with scenes from Brighton Beach to stormtroopers. We've got a little happy death figure just chilling, cutesy little mermaid. We try and have terrariums that represent all facets of living and life and fantasy.
You don't how many layers of paper mache it took to make this tree. Just to make it have some sort of texture. It is the best thing in the world to work with your best friends. We get along. We've been doing this for some time now, so we've navigated all the little idiosyncrasies, and it's great because we know each other's strengths.
I would love for our customers and our fans and our friends just to walk away feeling like they're a little bit more in touch with nature, that they have a little bit more whimsy in their lives, that they found something that they can put on their table or their desk and they can just zone out into it and feel a little bit more peaceful and just fun, you know? I mean, the beauty of this is while it's a business, it's fun and we have fun.
We're not afraid of challenges. We're right on the ball with it, and we are always looking for branching out into different things.
I like to come here, I like to make things, I like to work with my best friend, and I like to see how people respond to our work, and it's always positive. So that in turn makes me feel positive.
Translated roughly as pizza done well, Cotta Bene serves delicious, authentic Italian pizza, along with other delectable dishes right here in the heart of Gowanus. Join me as I get a pizza making lesson with pizza chef Sweet Lou. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
We've been food distributors for over 20 years, specializing in fresh mozzarella. The name of the company is Leone, which is pretty famous throughout the country. And when the opportunity became available to us to get involved with a pizzeria in the Gowanus section of Brooklyn, we thought it was a good situation for us.
We were helping so many pizzerias get started by servicing them with our products that we said, why not doing it on our own? And that's how we came about to be here.
As far as the mozzarella business, we've been in that business over 30 years in the States. It's a 5-generation company, and we branched off into other product lines, including cheeses, pasta, and at Cotta Bene, we make sure that everything that we use in the pizzeria is fresh, which makes obviously good ingredients make a good pie. Plus our expertise in making the pizza. Cotta Bene in Italian means well done. We take a lot of pride in how we make our pizza, top ingredients, a nice staff. Pizza made well, or well done, is Pizza Cotta Bene.
I would say our margarita is one of our best sellers. It's the only fresh mozzarella. We use Italian tomatoes. We top it off with fresh basil and some grated cheese.
Our pie man is doing it 30 years, so we pretty much have a handle on making the pizza, the ingredients being of high quality. We do about 16 pies right now, not including our special pie of the day, or the actual Cotta Bene special pie, which is very popular. It's a fantastic, fantastic pizza. If someone wants to make a change, we accommodate anyone we possibly can.
Today we're going to make a great pizza with Sweet Lou right here.
Cotta Bene, special house pie. To take the dough out of the can.
Okay, we're going to roll some dough. Now does that take you a long time?
Not exactly.
For smacking the dough.
It's just a habit.
We're learning why they call him Sweet Lou here.
Uh-huh.
So we press it out.
Stretch it out.
Oh my gosh. Flip it over.
And both ends side. You're stretching the dough.
That's some really big dough.
Uh-huh. It's a big pie. Now we put the scamozza cheese. We call it scamozza cheese. Scamozza.
Scamozza.
It's important.
Okay, now wait. I think I'm on a little bit of a diet.
Okay.
So maybe what if we wanted to do like cheese on half? Can we do that?
Sure.
And then what comes next?
This is a Reggiano. Reggiano cheese.
Scamozza.
And the marinara sauce.
Got it.
Would you like something else on your half because you don't want no cheese?
You got some meat?
Sure. There we go.
Okay, good. So we got some mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
Red pepper's fantastic.
Also have a gluten-free pizza.
Do you have like a little allergies or maybe some tummy issues? We got gluten-free. They can make your pie with no cheese. House special, they can do anything with it.
Yep.
Okay, so now what comes next?
Now it's ready to go in the oven. And
Off
it's done.
the pizza peel in the oven. It's done.
Yep, it's done.
It's done. Why are we taking the pizza back out? I thought it was 10 minutes, 18 inches. What's going on?
We're just gonna add some buffalo cheese on this.
Okay, that looks so
The big
good.
chunks.
Okay, so the left side is not the diet pizza, ladies and gentlemen, okay? House special, Reggiano, buffalo, and
Scamozza.
escamote. We're gonna learn this. So the pizza's beautiful. It goes back in for how long?
Another 2 minutes. Then
Another 2 minutes. Now what are we gonna do next? What happens?
we're gonna do the finishing touch on it. Some olive oil, some Reggiano formaggio, and a bit of basil.
This is one sexy pie. This looks great. I can't wait to eat it. Thanks so much, Lou.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we're with Alberto, and you're going to show us how to make what?
Pan-seared tilapia fillet.
So what do we do first?
You put salt and pepper and a little olive oil.
We drizzle the olive oil.
All right. Put a little bit oil on the pan.
Okay, a
All
little
right.
bit.
The pan is ready. All right. And you just
So we kind of mush it in
mush.
there.
Yeah,
sure we
you
have
make
it
sure.
salted
Yeah.
and peppered on both sides.
On both sides.
Good.
Yes. Just let it cook 2 minutes one side, and the rest like another 2 minutes on the other side.
Okay. So what are we going to serve the tilapia with?
Okay. Flour con tortilla. I made fresh fennel salad with asparagus. What you do, you drizzle with the orange vinaigrette, toss it.
So we're massaging the dressing into the salad.
And you
Beautiful. Beautiful.
just turn it around.
Awesome.
Okay, and you see
Beautiful.
the nice
Pan-sear.
pan-sear, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You use a spatula.
And turn the oven.
All right, and you just put them on top of the drizzle with the citrus vinaigrette on top.
Oh, that looks lovely.
There you go.
Thank you, Lou. So we're down at Cotta Bene. We got half house special, half Mel special. Then we got a tilapia salad, so I'm really excited. Let's give this a try. This is good. But you know what's even better? Let's try a little bit of this too. Oh, look at how tender still. Amazing. Come on down to Cotta Bene. I hope you enjoyed this outstanding episode of Neighborhood Beat. I know I did. These communities are packed with fun and exciting activities, but there's only one way to find that out, and that's to come through and experience these naves firsthand. For more information on the Neighborhood Beat series and to view past shows online, you can check us out on the web at brickartsmedia.org/BIT. You can also download shows on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter using keyword BK Independent TV. I'm your host, Mel Farah, and I'll see you next time in Brooklyn.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at brickartsmedia.org/BIT.